Whew. I've been working for more than 30 hours with just 2 hours sleep in between. But heck, this video have to be done. Let's roll the clip. Last week, Apple released the first version of iOS 14 public beta to everyone. And you bet, I will be the first in line to download it. This version of iOS 14 beta is officially called public beta 1, but it is essentially the same version as the developer beta 2. So the public beta will always be one number behind the developer version. So don't be confused if you heard the developer beta 3 is out, but the public beta is just on 2, they are both the same version. So how is it? Most of us expect a lot of visual enhancement and multiple quality of life improvement, as this is a new generation of iOS annual update. Of course, there are tons of visual updates coming to the iOS 14 and many underhood enhancements that the user wouldn't be able to notice unless we purposely look for it. Let's start with the main and most noticeable change in iOS 14, and that is the ability to place widget on your home screen. Say goodbye to swiping all the way to the left to get to our widget, and as you can see, the iPhone home screen is more and more resemble Android. But since we are talking about iOS 14, let's focus on what iOS 14 does for its user. To place a widget on the home screen is simple. Just hold anywhere on the screen until all icons start to wiggle. Tap on the plus icon at the top left, you'll be greeted with all the available widgets. But since this is still in beta, you are limited to Apple first-party widget, and every widget is self-explanatory. But the main widget that Apple highlight during the WWDC is Smart Stack. It is essentially multiple widgets that stack together so that you can swipe between them. During the presentation, Apple says that the widget will show you different information based on the time you look at it, and will show you the information they will need right now. But during my week of testing, I can't find anything useful. Maybe I should test this longer so that it could learn my use pattern. Stock and weather apps is quite useful for a quick glance without opening the apps. Reminder widget shows us the recently added or added tasks, and the calendar widget shows our upcoming meetings. But here comes my disappointment. All this widget is not interactable, except tapping it to open the apps. This is not so noticeable for widgets like weathers and stock, since we normally will just have a quick glance. But for widgets like reminder and calendar, we normally wish to know more about our remaining to-dos or tomorrow meetings. But we can't do all that in this widget. So I guess in Apple Vision, the widget is just for a quick glance of information, instead of interactable, and if you want to have more detail, just tap it and use the app itself. But I guess a non-interactable widget is better than nothing, right? So the widget thing left some bitter taste in my mouth. How about the rest? Ah yes, the app library. The app library is okay at best. It helps some of us to organize our messy homepage. To access it, simply tap and hold the home screen until everything is in wiggle mode, and tap the dot just above the dot. You'll be able to hide any page, and the hidden page will not be visible when you swipe left and right on the home screen. And those apps will live in the app library. You will be able to search it through the spotlight. Not so groundbreaking, as this is essentially an app drawer from Android. In iOS 14, Apple emphasized on Compare UI, and with this, picture-in-picture finally comes to the iPhone, and it is super useful. Able to watch a video while doing other things is quite nice, but the practicality is questionable. But just as in iPad, you are able to hide the video player in the corner so that the sound is still playing in the background while you could swiping through web page or Instagram. The picture-in-picture mode also extends to FaceTime call, as we will be able to continue video calling while using other apps. Currently in the beta, it's limited to Apple's own FaceTime call, but I'm sure when iOS 14 is officially available, apps like WhatsApp, Line will be able to do it as well. Finally, we're able to scroll through Instagram while calling each other. Siri also have an overhaul that does not take up the whole screen, and has been transformed into this small little orb at the bottom of the screen. But as my initial first impression, I don't find Siri any smarter than normal. But I will give it some time to conclude its usefulness. There are also major improvements in the message apps, but in Malaysia, we normally use WhatsApp as our means of communication. So I can't vouch for its usefulness. But looking through the feature list, it brings a lot of quality of life improvement, such as pinned conversation, in-line reply, and mention. If you're a heavy user of message apps, you will definitely appreciate all this improvement. Other main improvement in maps, I normally use Google Maps or Waze, but the improvement is much more under hood, and won't change the way that we use the app now, so I won't talk much about it. But let's talk about some minor improvement that will improve our way of using iOS. Let's start off with Safari web page translation. This feature alone will make Safari much more usable. Navigate to a foreign language website. Voice Memo also got a huge improvement in recording. Now you'll be able to reduce background noise with one single tap. This is super useful. With the reduction of background noise, your audio quality will improve significantly. Overall, the improvement in iOS 14 beta is quite normal for me, and I even encountered some bug and performance issue. Features such as CarPlay, car keys, Homes, and Apple Maps did not do much for me, as I rarely use it. But that doesn't mean others won't appreciate all this improvement. And that's it. That's my first impression of the first public beta of iOS 14. If you'd like to try it out, don't forget to back up your device to avoid potential data loss. I will separate my iPadOS 14 impression in another video, as it deserves a whole video to discuss its new feature. And that's it. Like and subscribe if you find my content helpful. And thanks for watching. Ciao!